All right, going live. I should be up here. So, hey, good afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Hello, everyone. It's McCloskey Motors. We're doing a live Q&A. Normally, we do our motivational minute on Monday and Friday afternoons, just like this. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring us into that intro, and I'm going to bring Jamie and I on the screen, and we're going to talk automotive and make some magic happen. So, here we go. All right, there we are. Jamie, hey, how are you doing this morning or this afternoon?
How are you, sir?
You still are on mute. Are you still on mute? I don't hear you. Oh, see. All right, we see you.
How about now?
Yeah, now I got you coming through. So, hey, I'm going to click open here to the live video. It looks like we got 6 or 7 people. Yeah, Lindsay's talking trash. Erica's here.
Of course, Lindsay's talking trash.
Of course she is. So, Erica, how are you doing this afternoon? Do you guys get a bunch of feedback? Can you guys tell me how we good? Can you hear us okay in the room here? She says, no, I'm not turning it up. Are you kidding me? So, hey, listen, this afternoon we want to do a different format. The McCloskey Motivational Minute, as you know, Jamie, right? It's all about being motivated, being pumped up, trying to spread some positivity in the community. Today we want to spread some positivity about automotive dealerships, our dealership or any dealerships in general. So one of the things that we want, if you're watching and in the sidebar, we want you to be able to ask either Jamie or myself questions. I know I'm kind of laying the format out. And then, Jamie, you're comfortable jumping in and answering them, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And certainly I am. So no holds barred. Any questions on automotive, used car sales, what we do, financing. We're going to keep this to maybe 15 minutes or so max. And so we're just going to head that direction. While we're filling time, a couple things that I wanted to talk about. We have a process, right, here in the automotive dealership. Jamie, you're familiar with what our sales process is, right? Many dealerships have a process.
5 steps.
5 steps. So we keep it really simple to 5 steps. So for someone who may be watching on the outside, right, if you're a customer, a potential customer, somebody here in Colorado Springs, somebody halfway across the world, could you do me a favor and just just in fairness, so everybody knows, Jamie is not directly in sales. He hasn't been in sales for a little bit. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Cool?
Yeah. Let's see if I know him.
So share with the audience, what are the McCloskey Motors? What are our 5 steps to the sales process? Somebody comes in, we're going to start engaging in a relationship. What are the 5 steps that we're looking to work through?
The first thing you're going to start with is your meet and greet. So that's meeting your customer, telling them who you are, figuring out who they are. We have our qualification, which is where you're trying to figure out kind of wants and needs assessment, what they're looking for, what they want. Number 3 is going to be a presentation. So we're going to go out, we're going to look at the car, we're going to touch every button, play with every feature, look at every stitch. Number 4 is I'm going to present the car. So we're going to look at it, we're going to look under the hood and the trunk. I might put you in the trunk. We never know what will happen. It's going to be fun. And then, of course, number 5 is going to be the, oh no, summarize.
I got your back. Number 5 is we're going to ask the consumer to buy the car, right? We want to make a deal. So that's perfect. So the good thing is, for somebody that is coming in here, like, so that you have a fair expectation. If you're a customer watching this stream right now, one of the things you want to understand is we want to be successful in selling a car. We want you to be successful in buying a car. And so while we have those guidelines set up, it's important that we make our way through that at some point, right, Jamie?
Oh, yeah.
But we do want to make sure that it's okay. That first and foremost, we want to be able to answer the consumer's questions. We want to create a customized and comfortable experience for what you're looking for in a car, right?
Right.
So when people are coming in, you know, the first thing, and I know I've heard it before. I was in the car business too. We've all heard it. Like, somebody comes in and go, "Oh my gosh, I got all these salespeople. I got these people descending on my car." Right? You've had that happen too, haven't you, Jamie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we still do that, and not because we're trying to attack somebody coming out of their car, right? It's because we want to provide a high level of customer service, greet the consumer right away, have a comfortable conversation with you, find out what's important to you as a customer, and then be able to navigate through the rest of the things, right?
Right.
So then when we get to that second part of the step, like the qualification, Jamie, can you want to expand on that a little bit? Because we have some specific pieces in the qualification too. So what are you doing to qualify and do a wants and needs assessment with a consumer?
Well, I don't know if I have an order, but I know first off, you want to figure out what they're selling us. So, of course, most people trade in their vehicles when they come to purchase a new car. So it's what they're selling us, what we're selling them. So what kind of vehicle they're interested in, you know, SUV, truck, whatever it may be. So you're going to see what we're selling them, what they're selling us. You're going to see where they work, make sure they have employment, because nowadays it's very hard to finance a vehicle without employment. You see where they live to make sure that, you know, they're here in the state, kind of get a little feeling on where they're from, what they're about. And the last one is going to be a summarize and a trial close. So that means I'm going to sum all this up. I'm going to tell you, okay, Mike, if I can trade in your 4Runner here, I can get you into this Jeep with navigation, leather seats at this payment. We're going to be able to do business today. Is that correct?
Sure.
And that's where we ended.
So the idea behind it, and one of the things, not to hang on everything, Lindsay's just dropping dinosaurs on the side. Thank you for the dinosaurs, Lindsay. One of the things when we're going through that wants and needs evaluation, and not to hang on one specific item, but as Jamie was saying, hey, look, you know, it's tough to finance a vehicle. Certainly, you know, if someone wants to pay cash, you're doing a different sort of trade setup and so forth, those are all relevant. Like that's going to go back to the very beginning when someone is talking to you about, like, what's the most important thing? What's your strategy for buying this car? Because everybody has a plan when they come here, right? You know, we have a plan to be able to sell a product, but they have a plan to purchase one too.
Right.
So then as he was saying, you know, next, and just to move this along, we're going through, we're then presenting the car, we're showing you the product. What happens? How do you address? I'm going to put you on the spot again. I love this. What happens if we have a consumer, they say, hey, look, no, I drove one just like this down the street, and I don't need the whole presentation and the song and dance and the drive and that kind of stuff. How would you, being a consumer yourself, how would you handle that?
If I'm the one that drove the car, or if somebody's telling me they have it, or they have it.
If someone's telling you, I'm the customer, and they say, hey, look, okay, I drove one really similar to this. I don't know that I need to drive one, Jamie. Your goal, Jamie, is that you're the salesperson, right?
Okay.
In our facility, and I say, no, I don't need to do all the driving and that kind of stuff. How would you approach that with me? What would your next?
One of my go-to is, you know, it's great to drive the vehicle. It's great to drive one like this vehicle, but as we know, every vehicle is different. They're all mechanical, and they all drive a little different, no matter what vehicle it is. It doesn't matter if it's two brand new vehicles; they will drive differently, just based on tire size, rim size, all sorts of stuff like that. So, and it is part of our process to have our customers drive the vehicle. So I respectfully always tell my customers, you know, I appreciate that you've driven one before, but nothing drives like this one. Every vehicle drives differently, and it is policy I have you get behind the wheel and drive it just to make sure it does feel all right for you. I wouldn't want you to go through all the paperwork, get into your vehicle and not like the way it drives. That wastes both of our time. So we wouldn't want to do that.
Well, that's one of the big things too, I think is really relevant as you're saying there. It's like, well, if you drive it and you're going on through that portion and they end up not liking the vehicle at the very end, you want to maximize the person's time. So it's not about like us trying to strong arm somebody and say, well, you got to do it this way. It really is for, you know, to maximize both, well, for both people's more opportunity than protection. You get to the end of it. We've all been there. Like I've researched, let's go out of the car industry for a minute. Like you've bought laptops or TVs before, right?
Right.
And we show up to the local electronics store, you go in, you look at the stuff, and we say, well, hey, this is the TV I got to have, or this is the electronic piece of equipment that I got to have. And then you get there and you do everything, and you researched it online, you think it's good, you end up buying it, it's in the box, you get it home, you unbox it, you go to put it in your entertainment center, and it's too big, right?
Right.
Everybody's had some sort of experience like that. So that's one of the deals, is like we're helping you measure out the TV and making sure that it's going to fit in your lifestyle once you leave here. It's not just an in the moment type of deal. you know. So, you know, that's just for anybody who's watching, whether you're tuning in live or if you're watching later. And do us a favor, if you would, share the video here, just because this is kind of an informational Q&A session. We're going on 10 minutes. Like I said, we'll keep it to 15 to 20. Does anybody in the sidebar have questions? Because if there's someone that has questions other than the tail length on a Tyrannosaurus Rex, how much horsepower a tractor has, if we're able to do yoga, I see these things coming across, which is super. Thank you, ladies. If there's
we know Lindsay's listening.
Yeah, if there's tons of questions, yeah. If there's any other questions, we'd love to be able to cover those. So let me ask you another hypothetical, or either a sharing or Jamie, you and I. We often will have customers come in and they have a conversation with us. What's one of the primary things that, you know, obviously someone's doing their shopping, they've done their research online, they're coming in, they're looking at a car. What are some of the primary questions that a customer might have for us, just off the top of your head?
Well, you know, I sold cars at Truck Town, so my immediate first thing was always, you know, is it gas or diesel, 4x4, all-wheel drive, you know, what's your towing ratios, does it have a bed that'll fit in my garage? Because you said measuring the TV to make sure it fits, I have measured trucks to make sure they'll fit in people's garages. So that's a big question I get a lot, actually, is this going to fit in my garage? Because my wife will kill me if it doesn't, and you know, so.
Right. So how about price or payments? Do those come up?
That's the number one thing I always hear. I should have started with that, I guess. But, you know,
I'm here to help.
Exactly. It's one of the biggest purchases most people make. You know, yourself and myself and you do it every day. But a lot of people, this is a big decision. So price is that's the key thing to them is, you know, I'm about to spend a large chunk of change and I want to know what I'm getting into here. What's my payment, you know? Yeah,
I think payment is a really big driver when it comes to automotive, and certainly, again, if someone's paying cash for a vehicle or doing a straight trade, or there's other avenues, but I think payment is a really big driver. And one of the things that I know even we would encourage somebody as a sales professional, if somebody sits down and has that conversation regarding payment, you know, there's a lot of different payment calculators, there's a lot of different things that go into it, but ultimately one of the things, or one of the pieces here is, it really is math. You know, you got your price, you got taxes, you got interest rate that goes on there, but ultimately everything that plugs in, the computer's going to figure it out, and here it is, and there it goes.
It's all numbers.
And so I think one of the things that can help to make a smooth transition in any car buying process, and some people will be like, oh my gosh, you're crazy for saying this, but if consumers have done their research leading up to come into the dealership, you have an expectation of kind of the car you want, what you're looking for, and so forth. If people have an idea, you know, because a lot of times if it's a wide open blanket, it makes it tough for both places, both people to start. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah.
You say a lot of yes. I'm just looking at you on the screen.
You know, it's a good word to go to.
So, you know, there's a lot of places that you can do research. Certainly our website, we have a payment calculator on there. And the math is the math. Whether you plug it in on our website, I know Google does payment calculations now. If you plug the stuff in and ask it questions, Google does payment calculations. What are some other questions, or, you know, even potential roadblocks that might come up that you've seen come up in a car sales atmosphere in that transaction?
Well, to build on kind of what you said, I agree wholeheartedly. You know, I think people have this stigma that car people don't like educated customers. I prefer them. It makes it much easier for you and for me if we know what we're looking for. As for more questions I get from people, you know, there is, you know, it's hard to figure out the math sometimes on that because, you know, there's a lot of factors that are going to go into that tax bracket. What is your tax rate? You know, in the state of Colorado, it's different everywhere depending on your zip code.
I think that's a really relevant, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but one of the things is, understand if you're a car buyer, you pay taxes based on where you live, not where the dealership's located. You know, so
right.
Sorry to get sidetracked there.
No, I thought that was an important thing to tell people too, because you get a lot of people who are, they look at online, and online says, oh, it's a 5.2% tax rate, but you come into the dealership, you live in the city, it's 8.25. That extra 4% is a big deal to people. So I think it's really important to really drill down on, if it is price that's motivating your purchase or helping influence your purchase, to really kind of dig deep into just your price. What am I paying for in that price? Why is it so expensive? What is my taxes going to be, and a lot of things, a question I get a lot, which I disagree with sometimes, is, well, why do you have a dealer and handling fee? Well, every place has a dealer and handling fee, depending on, that has to pay somebody's salary sometimes. So I do think it's important to give your dealership a call that you're looking at if you find the vehicle you want, and say, hey, can I get your dealer and handling fee so I can do the math myself? And that kind of helps to build people's expectation towards what their value is and what their payment might be. Because if you just do a payment based on the price of the car, you're going to be really upset when you come in here and I tell you it's, $3,000.
Yeah, when you're missing taxes and such. Well, and the thing that's unique too, and at least in Colorado, one thing to discuss, when that car is advertised online, then the pricing is that, price plus taxes and so forth. And
right.
And so you do need to be aware, well, what is my tax rate? Plug it in. You can't just take, like if it's the flat price of the car, you can't just take and divide it out by the even number of months to get your payment, because there is taxes and interest involved. And sometimes people just don't consider it. So that's one of the things that we wanted to talk about today. So any other questions or anything that you can think that are pertinent? I know this is a different format today, so I'm putting Jamie on the spot a little bit, but just, I think kind of talking about, look, here's what our process is, here's some things to consider when you're coming in to purchase a vehicle. So Jamie, you agree? Anything else that would be really good to throw little tidbits?
I think this is a great idea. I think it'll add a little bit of humanization into because we're all car salespeople, but we're not all terrible people. So I think this adds a little bit of humanality to it for us, and shows people, we're all the same person. Everybody goes home at night, kisses their family, and it's just not math at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So, hey, for anyone who took the time to tune in and join us, especially the Peanut Gallery, the Dinosaur Gallery, Lindsay and Erica, the ladies here that are in our BDC. Hello, everyone.
Woo!
Hey, woo! Thanks for taking the time. Hopefully something like this is valuable. Maybe we change up the format a little bit and do something like this once a month. So if there's Q&A, there's things coming up, then fire them at us. Well, it's like an Ask Me Anything. We'll answer anything that you've got that you want to know pertaining to car dealer. Car deals, used car sales, that kind of stuff. Automotive detailing. They said, oh my gosh, you got an automotive. We have the detail centers right here behind us, our service centers. So if it pertains to an automobile and somebody's got a question, because sometimes there's stuff people are like, well, I don't know exactly how to ask it, or they come off asking an email and there's not clarity, please, ask it in this forum, reach out to us and have that conversation. It'd be great. So thank you for anyone tuning in with us this afternoon. Jamie, thank you for your time. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
And make sure and join us Mondays and Wednesdays, Mondays and Fridays at 3:03 p.m. for our Mondays and Fridays, 3:03 p.m. for, what am I talking about, Jamie? I'm listening.
This is the McCloskey Motivational Minute.
Super motivational. So Mondays and Fridays at 3:03 p.m. Normally we do like a 3-minute segment. Maybe, like I said, once a month, we'll do a little Q&A segment and Ask Me Anything. So thank you guys for taking the time to tune in. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And I'm going to take us out if I can figure it out. Oh, there I am.